Hello everyone, welcome back to another great episode of Hannah's Cuisines. Today we're going to be doing a quick video on my favorite buttercream frosting. It's the whipped buttercream frosting, and I have left the ingredients very simple, so let's get started. Now this frosting is going to go on my birthday cake, which is going to be Death by Chocolate Cake is the name for it. So we start off with basic ingredients. We're going to use 2 sticks of butter, which is actually 1 cup of butter. We're using 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of vanilla bean paste. Now this again is available at Michael's, and you can use the vanilla extract that you have, but I would really recommend you using pure vanilla because it makes a difference. We're going to use half a cup of Ghirardelli chocolate chips that I have mixed, and it's completely cooled. We're going to use 3/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, and then we're going to be using 2 cups of icing sugar or confectioner's sugar, whatever you, or powdered sugar, whatever you call it, and then a pinch of salt to balance off our flavors. So very simple. First, we're going to just go ahead and add my room temperature butter into my mixer. Now, if you want to use a hand mixer with that, that's totally fine. I just have this mixer. It's easy for me to clean. I'm just going to throw it in the dishwasher. So I'm just going to use this. But like I said, you can use a hand mixer if you want. And if you really want to work out in the kitchen, then you can use your whisk. Or your hand whisk is what I meant to say. All right. Get all that good butter away from the wrapper. Preferably, I would suggest use unsalted butter. With any sweets, I don't like salted butter because I just like to add my pinch of salt in there, because that way I can kind of balance out the flavors on my own. So at first, what we're gonna do is just start mixing our butter and let that get really nice and creamy. While that's happening, in my other bowl, what I'm going to do is just add my powdered sugar, and I'm going to sieve it all. And it's a very good idea to do this so that you have no lumps in it whatsoever. And then same thing, I'm just going to add my pinch of salt in here. Now my cocoa, I just bought the cocoa, so it doesn't have any lumps in it, but I still want to do this because it's going to give us a good, smooth frosting. Now if you see here, we've got some lumps of powdered sugar. That's why it's really important that you sieve it. Okay, so that we're ready to go on that. So butter's coming up really nicely. At this point, we're just going to add our whipping cream in here and give it a good whisk. What this is going to do, my hands are very clean, by the way, I just washed them. What this is going to do is it's going to whip up our butter really nicely. So I don't want to whip it too much because I don't want it to lose that whip. And then we're going to add our melted chocolate in here. Now, I really highly recommend you using semi-sweet chocolate, just because I feel that using just regular milk chocolate is going to make it way too sweet. This is really going to balance the flavors. Okay. Now I added my chocolate in here. I'm just going to whip it up just a little bit. Okay. I will get everything off the whisk, but I just want to get this in here. Okay, now we're going to go ahead. Well, let me go ahead and throw the vanilla in here too. A good tablespoon. It's going to really flavor our chocolate. Chocolate and vanilla enhances the flavor of vanilla. Now you can also go ahead and add, if you wanted to, you could add some instant coffee in here if you like. But what I'm using the frosting in is, like I said, my own birthday cake that I'm making. And it's going to be very sweet. It's going to have so many chocolate bars on it. And so I think I'm going to stay away from the coffee because it's already going to have so much flavor in it. Okay. Now we're just going to whisk this, and it's going to come together really well. We're going to start off whisking it really slowly first. You don't want to take a cocoa bath. Okay. At first it's going to look like it's not going to come together, so I'm doing it really, really slowly, but it will. It's going to go through stages of it look really, really crumbly, and then the mixture will get really wet, and then it's going to start whipping up. Do you see how that's coming together? Now I'll increase it. Look at that. Look at how well it's coming together. Okay. Okay. So if you look at it, look at how beautiful that looks. Now this is a good time to do a little taste test. So good. It's not very sweet, so it's perfect. I love that rich cocoa flavor in it. So basically we're done. And if you want to see what I'm doing with this, it's something very, very exciting. Make sure you watch my Death by Chocolate Cake birthday special. And we just made whipped buttercream chocolate frosting. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Rehana's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great video. See you then, friends. Hello everyone, welcome back to another great episode of Rehana's Cuisines. Today we're going to be doing a very quick video on Jaggery. I wanted to get some information out to you guys before I do some recipes that contain Jaggery. Now this is how you would get it at a store. This was about $1.99, which is about 1.1 pounds. I have another kind here. Now I don't usually see these, but sometimes you'll see this, and these are more in blocks. So if you see this, it's easier to handle the blocks than if you get something like this. But what I did here was I did put it in the microwave on defrost for 3 minutes, and you want to take it out of the plastic. I just put it back in so that you know when you go to the store what to look for. So basically, because it's 1.1 pounds, I usually just, whoop, I should have had this, and then I had this here. Okay, should have, so I usually cut it in half because most of the recipes either will contain about half to 1 pound. And sometimes, my Deborah recipe will contain tablespoons. So this is what it looks like, and I wanted to kind of get into some of the stuff that the Jaggery has. Now Jaggery is prepared from sugarcane juice. It's a traditional unrefined sugar. It's a natural goodness of minerals and vitamins. And I really wanted to give you just a quick, and then you can do your own Google search on Jaggery and find out the health benefits of Jaggery. Jaggery is prepared without the use of chemicals, and it's presenting a good source of relaxation of muscles. So let's say if your muscles are really aching, or if you're having menstrual cramps, or if you're just not feeling, just put about half a tablespoon of this in a cup, pour some water in it, let it melt, and drink it. And it's going to give you that relaxation. It's going to give you a feeling that you're going to feel really calm after that. And it really helps with menstrual cramps. This is a great product for feeding moms or new moms. We have lots of recipes that contain Jaggery. It also is very high in iron, so make sure that you look into that. The other one thing that I really wanted to mention is that it helps take care of asthma. It has anti-allergy properties. Sorry about that. It also contains phosphorus, zinc, and calcium. So I really wanted to do just a quick video to show you, and I have things set up here because I'm going to be doing a sesame brittle with not using sugar but using Jaggery instead. Now if you're diabetic, I'm not saying go and you can have this instead of sugar, because it works kind of the same way as sugar does in your body, although it releases slowly in your body. But for diabetics, it's still not recommended that you eat like a whole bunch. Everything has to have a limit, a balance to everything. Thank you for my camera person, she's helping me out. So yeah, so everything has to have a balance. So this was just a very quick video on how to work with Jaggery and the Jaggery properties. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Hannah's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great video. And I did forget to tell you that usually you just want to crush this with a serrated knife, just like that. I got so busy in talking about it. And what I usually do is I put it in a container where I know it's half a pound, store it. So when I want to make my peanut brittle or sesame brittle, the measurement is ready to go.